We're a few months away from the release of College Football 26, and we just got some more leaks a little bit ago that we need to go over. Now, as always, we know we're going to be getting a lot of official news from EA very soon, probably at the end of April or sometime in May, as that's kind of when they started putting out the official news last year. But leading up, just like last year, we're starting to get leaks. And today we got a pretty big one that shows us some of the players that are going to be on the cover. It also reveals some new information about the game just based on who's on the cover. And there's also some other things to kind of speculate as well. Now, if you're new to the channel and you never want to miss out on any of the updates for this game, as we're going to be getting a ton of leaks and news soon, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on. That way you never miss any of the important leaks when they drop. So let's get into the info we have today. So there was just recently a cover shoot for College Football 26, and much like last year, somebody who was at the cover shoot posted a private Instagram story. Now, last year when this happened, somebody who follows this director or, photographer, whoever he is, they took a screenshot of this and they sent it to another YouTuber who goes by the name of Tubby Light. And the same thing happened again this year. I'm guessing it could have been the same person or it was somebody else. They posted a private story of the College Football 26 cover shoot. Somebody was able to get it and send it over to Tubby Light. So he did break this information, and what we can see here is they're at the Rose Bowl yet again doing a cover shoot for the college football video game. Now, there's a lot of interesting people on the cover. We're going to kind of break down what this means for the game and some other leaks that came out kind of after this cover was revealed. Keep in mind, this also isn't the official cover. This is probably just more of a mock-up. Obviously, they've got to do a lot of editing, but it does give us a little peek as to what the deluxe edition could look like. Now, shortly after all this stuff leaked, On3 Sports actually put out an article as they got in touch with some of their sources to break down what was going on here with this cover shoot. And they said EA Sports College Football is set to return in 2026, coming off the wildly acclaimed return of the franchise in 2025. Sources tell On3 that on Wednesday, several college football stars and prominent head coaches visited the Rose Bowl for the EA Sports College Football 26 photo shoot. Sources told On3 that Michigan quarterback Bryce Underwood, Florida quarterback DJ Lagway, LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Alabama wide receiver Ryan Williams, Ohio State receiver Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State safety Caleb Downs, Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt, and South Carolina edge Dylan Stewart were all in attendance. So much like last year, they're going to do a deluxe cover with a bunch of different players on it, more players than they did last year, but that's not all. Because if you look at this cover closely, you can see that they also have mascots on the cover, but they also have coaches as well, and we're going to get into what that means in a second. But really quickly, I want to shout out today's video sponsor, Underdog. If you like sports and you like winning money, then you've got to be on Underdog playing their pick'em game. Basically, all you have to do is pick higher or lower on player stats, and if they hit, you can win some big money. But the best thing about Underdog is when you sign up, they're going to give you a free play, and they're going to give you bonus cash to start with. So for example, during the NBA season, if you sign up right now, they're going to give you Luka Doncic to get a single point. That means all you have to do is get 1 point and that's it, you win. And no matter when you sign up, there will always be a free play like this. There'll be Giannis Antetokounmpo or another star player, whoever is playing that night, there will be a free play just like this where all they have to do is score 1 point and you can take advantage of that. And if you sign up using my code RAY, R-A-Y, they'll also give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash at sign up, and you just can't beat that. Continuing on in the article here, it says EA College Football plans to release multiple covers in 2026, sources said, explaining why so many athletes were in Pasadena. That will also reportedly include a coach's cover with Ohio State's Ryan Day, Georgia's Kirby Smart, Penn State's James Franklin, Ole Miss's Lane Kiffin, Oregon's Dan Lanning, and Arizona State's Kenny Dillingham participating. A Legends cover is reportedly in the works too, with former Michigan quarterback Denard Robinson and Florida quarterback Tim Tebow participating in the photo shoot. Now that's kind of a lot to digest there, so let's break down what this exactly means. Number one, the fact that there is a dedicated coaches cover means that we're getting real coaches in this game, and that is a leak and rumor that we've been hearing for a while. And even Mike Straw, one of the guys that tends to leak information about sports video games, and he has for years, he even kind of alluded to this when this cover leaked, that we're probably getting real coaches in the game. He couldn't outright come out and say it just yet, but basically if they're doing a coaches cover, we're getting real coaches in the game. It's pretty much cut and dry. They wouldn't do that if they weren't actually putting those real coaches into the game. Now, will we have every single coach of every single school in the game? That I don't know. I would assume that most of the big names will be in there. I'm sure guys like Deion Sanders will also be in there as well. So this is a pretty big deal, as this is kind of one of those things that people were missing out on last year that they wanted to see. But this also could mean that we're going to get some more features around coaching, because typically when EA is going to put something new into a game, they want to market it in a way where it's not just, hey, we put real coaches in the game. They're going to want to have maybe some type of a feature based around this, or they're going to build out an existing feature. So for example, maybe like the coaching carousel, we know that was an area that people wanted to see expanded on in 25, so maybe they're going to be expanding on coaching carousel, or maybe they're going to do some different coach mode stuff. There's obviously different angles they could take here, but I don't think they're just going to simply put real coaches in the game. I think they're going to have some type of a feature built around this as well, because that's typically how EA likes to market things. So that's something I would be on the lookout for. Now, also having a Legends cover could mean something, but it also might not mean anything crazy as well. We saw that the article mentioned Denard Robinson and Tim Tebow, but if you also look at the leaked photo shoot, you can also see that Reggie Bush is on there as well. Now, we do know that there's Ultimate Team where you get all of these former players and legends, so that really could be all that's about. We know that's already existing in the game, so a Legends cover could just simply be a third edition of the game, a cool cover with former players. We know that they're in Ultimate Team. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get something like all-time teams in the game, which would honestly be cool. That's what I would hope it means, but I have heard no rumors or no leaks around that yet, so I wouldn't really get your hopes up about potentially having all-time teams in the game. It could mean that, but it also could just be a cool extra cover that they're doing. Now, something else that people pointed out was that there also are mascots on the cover, as you can see, multiple, and some people think this is alluding to the mascot mode returning because that was not in 25. Now, one thing that Mike Straw did say when this leaked on Twitter, because somebody asked him, he said no. Now, this is a guy with sources. If he's saying no, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of take his word for it that we're probably not getting mascot mode. Mascots could just be on the cover because, hey, it's college football and it looks cool, and they're throwing them on the deluxe edition. They're not getting their own standalone cover like the coaches, so I don't think this necessarily means mascot mode is going to be in the game. I think there's a lot of other more important things that they kind of have to tackle before they do something like mascot mode, which to me is kind of just an extra thing that you throw in there. It's fun. It's something that you play around with a few times for most people. It's not something that's a real big selling point for most people who are going to buy the game. And we know that they still have to build out Dynasty more, which they said they're going to do. We know that they have a lot of things they need to add and build up with Road to Glory. We know they're constantly going to be changing things with gameplay, and now they're putting real coaches in and things like that. So there's a number of other things that are kind of more important before we get to mascot mode. I feel like that's just something you do once everything else is ironed out, but people were bringing up that they were on the cover, so it is something that people were assuming. I just really wouldn't assume that that's going to be the case, though. Now, if you want to know some of the other latest news we have surrounding the game, make sure you check out this important video right here on the screen.